We have been using Banner since inception, since we started in 2000. What we've done now is that we've moved the database from an on-premise solution to a cloud-based solution so that we can support students better. And I want to also say that just yesterday we launched our mobile application so that students can register from home on their phone. They could be at Maracas and they can engage with the college, and we'll find you wherever you are in terms of student support. So we've upgraded the IT system to better support our students.
And how does that rate with some of the experiences that you've had outside of Trinidad and Tobago?
So when Dr. Samuel and Dr. Paul reached out to us, they said, we want to focus more on the student experience. How can you help us? We leverage the skill sets that we have from working with many colleges and universities globally, and we brought some of that here with us. So we focus on improving business processes. Mm-hmm. Again, operational efficiency is key so that they can have more time with the students. Focus on quality data so that they can have better metrics, so they know where are our students going after mm-hmm. graduation. Have we prepared them mm-hmm. adequately for the needs of the market? You know, looking at the data to see what are the needs of Trinidad and Tobago, and are we focusing our students to address the current and future needs?
Mm-hmm. I want to continue that, because every person who I have who's an educator right about now, I ask the question, are we looking at the market, forecasting what is happening, and using that to influence curricula?
Right, so we have advisory committees, and they work with the deans and the chairs of program areas to ensure that we have relevance. But what we found, you know, being publicly funded also means that we have limited resources. And you know, in times of lean, you have to find ways of doing what you do from a very economic perspective. And we have found that using the IT platform to help us do what we do better, that's pivotal to how we support our students. So we have engaged Ellucian not just as the partner that we know in terms of the Banner system, but we are really interested in their latest solutions to help us figure out who's coming to us, what are they doing, where are they going, how are they doing in classes, so that we can intervene even in the second or third week in the semester to determine if they're on track or if they're not on track. We want to make COSTAATT about student success. We want to make COSTAATT about supporting our students, because we understand in doing so, we aid national development. If we can help our students get through the system, learn what they're supposed to be learning, and engage them in terms of the teaching and learning experience, then we have done our job. And that's what we want to focus on.
Now, in terms of being able to monitor, to get such data, what's the significance of that, especially looking at the fact that COSTAATT has a scaffolding model of education, so people may be coming from different education backgrounds, and at the same time, some may have been out of the system for a little bit. So in terms of monitoring and getting that data, what significance does that play in how you address the students?
Oh, well, that's not a very complicated thing with the ERP system that we have. They can come from wherever they come from. We have music students, we have older students, we have younger students, we have students who've not been in school for a very long period of time. The system will trap their demographics from the admissions perspective, and we are able to see if they're coming every semester, if they've stopped out, for what reason. We can engage them. It traps all of the information required to reach out to them, to send them alerts. We use a lot of push technology as well, so that we can reach out to them and tell them, we haven't seen you last semester. What have you been up to? Come talk to us. And if they ignore us, we have their numbers, all at the touch of a button.
So delivering intuitive technology to the students. So our mobile capabilities, as Dr. Samuel touched a little bit on, the ability to push information out to the students. So targeted information, meaningful information, rather than just general data that you may not even look at. And that's what we allow the students to do with the technology itself. So the ability to quickly access your grades, whether it's the past semester, the current semester, or midterm and final grades, access to your course schedule on your mobile device, the ability to just register from anywhere, you know, removing the chaos of having to be on campus and having to worry about not you know, getting the courses that you want to get to complete.
How big is that?
Yeah, it's big. Ask any educational institution about registration, and they're going to tell you it's an administrative nightmare. This is going to make the thing very easy. Students registering from home and not putting the administrative load on the actual learning centers. It's wonderful. Yeah, so we're very excited.
Yeah, we see a transformation happening at the college, and they're leveraging the right technologies and the right business processes to ensure that they do that. So the transformation happens internally. It also happens with the student, because the goal is to have the student focus on being a student, right?
Yes.
And not have to deal with all of the other little things that distract them from being a student. And again, it comes back to, you know, your focus, which is student success. That is our true north, and that message aligns.
Yeah, and I just want to say that we're not just using this student module in Banner, we're also using finance and HR. So everything that we do will integrate and align for student support. So one would not naturally think of the finance department and the HR department getting involved in student success. But in our version of higher education, they're front and center with us, working through the system to help ensure that our students get in, they get the teaching and learning experience that's required, and that we track where they've gone after.
Can those other systems also be used remotely?
Absolutely. You want to talk a little bit about the mobile that we launched yesterday?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we went live with COSTAATT's mobile solution yesterday.
We're very excited.
Yeah, it's a great time to be at the college. Again, speaking to the transformation process that's taking place, we actually engaged with the students in the launch that we did yesterday. So it's not just about, you know, working with the faculty and staff, but it's putting students in a position where they can see themselves forward, right? So we allowed them to be part of the event yesterday, part of the messaging, using the applications, and actually going through and see what the future looks like for them.
Finance can now look at the app and see who's paid, who's not paid,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then send alerts to them automatically.
But having the technology is one thing and using it is another, but in the sense that, is it possible for people to apply, be registered remotely, and then when they come inside, they realize, okay, well, this is not necessarily what I wanted, I should have done this instead. Can people also get assistance and advice as it pertains to registration?
Careers? Yeah. Well,
remotely?
Well, not quite, but what we like to say at COSTAATT, we don't recruit to come and do a degree. We recruit for a career. So we prefer the in-person sort of engagement, because you come in, you can apply for a program online, and very soon you'll be able to pay for the program online. But we still would like the applicants to come in and they go through a coaching session with us so that we can really determine, and we do some tests with them to determine what their interests really are and where they might perhaps want to be. So you can decide that you want to come and do a degree in IT. But when you see all the statistics and all the math, you may say, well, that's maybe not what I want to do. Maybe I want to do something else. So we ensure that we reach the students up front, so that when you get into the program, it is something that is of interest to you. But we are also flexible enough to allow exploration. So it's a fine line. So we allow you to come. We don't pretty much, you know, allow too much switching, because that's no good for the country. And you know the whole drama with the gate and what students were doing. They were starting a program and going somewhere else. So we want to reduce that. We want to ensure that you're doing something relevant to you and relevant to the country. And the only way to do that, I think, is to engage them one-on-one in a sort of intimate discussion on where they see themselves.